Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So what you all saw were clips of my Master Gardener's graduation ceremony. I am now officially a Master Gardener for Yolo County in California, and I couldn't be more proud. This was something that I've had my eye on for a couple years now, and it was just because of my YouTube channel actually that gave me the time to be able to pursue this dream that I had to become a Master Gardener. And I'm so thankful that I had the time and I had the energy to be able to go through this program, because I am just so happy that I went through it. I'm so happy that I'm a Master Gardener now, and I'm so happy that I learned everything that I did in the program. So what I have been doing since the beginning of this Master Gardener's journey is I have been documenting it on my YouTube channel. And the main reason that I've been documenting it is when I was researching the Master Gardener's program myself, when I was interested in it and kind of looking it up online, I had a lot of trouble finding information about the Master Gardener's program. I could find the requirements and I could find, the Master Gardener's website to talk a little bit about it, but I really couldn't find anything that really expressed what the Master Gardener's program involved, what I could expect with the training, what I could expect with after the training, what I could expect the test to be like. I just kind of wanted more information about the program. And so I decided that I wanted to document pretty much everything on this YouTube channel. So I do have a Master Gardener's playlist. I will link it down below. Basically, it has from the very beginning, from my interview, all the way to today, which is my graduation, and all the classes that I had in between, talking about everything I learned and my thoughts on it and all that kind of stuff. So I will link that playlist down below. It's a lot of information, just to warn you guys. It's a lot of information, but I think it's really, really interesting, and I think that it's helpful. So kind of just as a recap, Master Gardener's program is a community outreach program. Different regions, different counties have it, and basically the county trains volunteers to be able to be volunteers for the community. So basically, I have been trained so that I can spread the word about gardening to the community, and I can answer questions, I can get the word out there, I can help spread knowledge. And Master Gardeners really focuses on scientific research-based knowledge. They only want us to talk about information that has been proven by research. And so that was kind of an interesting thing for me, because not a lot, but a bunch of things that they said that we got trained on might be a little bit different than what, us as gardeners kind of just always do, based on anecdotal evidence. So it was pretty interesting to hear a lot of the stuff that the Master Gardener's program had to teach us about scientific and research-backed information. So basically, I applied, I sent in my application, I had an interview, which really was just a conversation. I think that the Master Gardener's program just wanted to make sure that whoever is applying is serious about it, is willing to commit the hours that it takes to train, and is willing to commit the hours of volunteer time that is required to be a Master Gardener. And so all Master Gardeners, they go through the training program, they do the presentation, they take the test at the end, and then they're required to complete volunteer hours as well as continuing education hours. So for my very first year as a Master Gardener, from now until June of 2024, I need to complete 50 hours of volunteer time. That's from my county. That might be different for your Master Gardener's area, but that's from my county. And then each year after that is another 25 hours for each year to continue to be a Master Gardener. And I do think that volunteer time is super important. It's kind of what we're paying back to the Master Gardener's program. We're paying back to the community, for training us with all this really incredible information. So I'm excited to do my volunteer hours. I already have plans for what I'm going to do for my volunteer hours. And I was talking to my fellow trainees, and they're really, really excited about it as well. So we had about 12 weeks of training classes. We had trainings for 4 hours every Friday from January until I think the end of April was our last official one. And they were, when I say 4 hours, hours, I mean 4 hours. It was all 4 hours. We had a couple breaks, but it wasn't like a 30-minute break or anything like that. It was like 10-minute bathroom breaks, and that was it. So it was really intense training, intense information being given to you as you were sitting there for those 4 hours. And I do have to say, I loved every minute of it. I loved learning about all these different topics that I don't know if I would have ventured into learning 4 hours worth of information of myself. Composting or weeds, like who's going to spend 4 hours learning about weeds? But there's enough for 4 hours to learn about weeds. There's actually more than 4 hours. I would say 9 times out of 10, the presenters had more information to talk about and couldn't fit it all in the 4 hours. So you can imagine the intense amount of information that was being given to us during that amount of time. And I think that there were 2 ways that you could handle getting this information from the Master Gardeners program. You can do what I did, which I'm not saying this is right. This is just what I did. And that was frantically taking notes, writing down every single thing that the presenter said, trying to understand and remember every item of information they told us. That's just how I learned the best. That's just how I wanted to approach this training program. But then there were others who were kind of just listening. They were just sitting there and they were listening to all the information that the presenters were talking about. And I think that that's a really good way to approach the Master Gardeners program as well, because one of the important things to know about the Master Gardeners program is that they do not expect us as Master Gardeners to know everything. They do not expect us to be able to remember every weed, every bug, the name of every plant. What they do expect us to know is how to find that information, how to look it up, where to find it in a book, where to find it online, or even who to ask to find that information. So, just sitting there and listening to all the information in the classes, that would work just as well as what I did, which was frantically write down everything in my notebook. I'm actually glad that I did that, because now I have my Master Gardener's notebook and it has so much fantastic information that I have looked back on countless times since I've written it down. Just not only for my YouTube channel when I talk to you guys about something, but also for myself as a gardener. I will go back and I will look back something that I knew I had written down in my notebook and be able to look it up. So that notebook to me is gold. So after the training courses, there was about 12 of them, we had 2 weeks of presentations. We had to do a 30-minute presentation with a partner on the topic of our choice. And this was actually more fun than it was work, at least for me and my partner. My partner and I, we decided to do the cool flower method for cut flower gardening, and we had so much fun with it. And it was a topic that we were both super interested in. So it was really, really fun to research it and to present it to the class. Other groups did other topics. Let me think. There was one that was snakes in the garden, which was kind of interesting. There was a succulent presentation. One of them, somebody presented doing a kokodama, a moss ball with a plant in it. It was they were the most interesting presentations. I was enthralled. I know that that's kind of weird to say enthralled, but I was just sitting there listening to these people present topics that they obviously had incredible interest in, and it was just so interesting for me to watch these presentations. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. So that was kind of the second big part of the Master Gardeners training class, was the 30-minute presentation. The third part was the test, and the test was a take-home test that wasn't easy, I guess is how I will say it. It was a take-home open book test. It was, I wasn't stressed about it at all, but it did take me quite a number of hours because the questions were pretty tough. The questions were things that I had to look up, I had to research, I had to, it wasn't just answer A, B, or C. I actually had to really think about the question, which really is going to mimic when the public comes up to me and asks me a question as a master gardener. They're not going to be easy questions all the time. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit difficult. So the test was easy because it was an open book test. Every single person in my class passed, but I'm not going to say that it was an easy test because it wasn't an easy test. It did take me a couple hours, and I know it took pretty much everyone a couple hours to complete. So that's basically the third part of the Master Gardener's training program. Some things that I liked about the program, I think I probably said a ton of things that I liked about the program. I love how much information they gave us. I just think it is is priceless to get that kind of information from other gardeners and researchers and experts in the field. The presenters that they were able to get and bring in were just some of the most knowledgeable people that I've ever talked to about gardening, and it was just so wonderful to hear directly from them. I felt like it was an opportunity of a lifetime to hear a lot of these presenters speak. Some of the things that let me go back. The other thing that I really liked about the Master Gardeners program was the community that I have now. I have a lot of people who ask me, hey, where is there a garden club in this community? Is there where do I find some gardening friends? Like, what can I do when it comes to gardening, in our community? And I think one really great resource that a lot of people forget about because it takes so much work to get in that community is the Master Gardeners community. Like, I have made so many friends in my training group, and there are so many people that I know I could call on, I could email, that'd be more than willing to hang out with me or talk to me about gardening or anything like that. It's just a really, really wonderful resource. So if you are a gardener and you are obsessed with gardening and you can't find your people around your area, I would encourage you guys to look at your Master Gardeners program. And it just might be something that you guys might want to do for the camaraderie of having other like-minded gardeners around you. So that is something that I really, really like about this Master Gardeners program. So some of the things that I did not like about my Master Gardeners program, which there's only a couple of them. The things that I like far, far, far outweigh the things that I didn't like. But I do want to include this just to be truthful about the whole program. One, I felt like sometimes the training courses were a bit rushed. Like I said, these presenters had so much to say. They had so many wonderful things to say, and it felt like the amount of time that we had wasn't quite enough for all the things that they had to say. And what are you supposed to do about that? I mean, 4 hours once a week is a lot of time. It's not like we could have done a whole day of training. Like, nobody would be able to do the program. But that is one thing that I noticed, is that I felt like there was a lot of times when I wanted more information from these presenters that were coming to us, and I felt like we were short on time. So I'm not sure how the Master Gardeners program would fix that. I don't think extending the amount of time would work. I just don't know. I don't know how anything could fix that other than, these presenters had so much wonderful information and I want to hear more of it. The next thing that I didn't love about the Master Gardeners program, and I've talked to my program coordinator about this, they are totally aware of it, but that is simply just the lack of technology that the Master Gardeners program has. They have a fantastic website where you can look up, bug problems and pathogens and weeds and all that stuff, and it's absolutely fantastic. But I think that the Master Gardeners program could do a little bit better with, their social media outreach, right? As someone who's on social media, I think that they could do a little bit better with that, and a little bit better with connecting our community, and connecting the Master Gardeners to the greater community where we live, with a little bit more technology. And I think that just comes with time. We're a bunch of gardeners. We're not technology people, so I completely understand why it is the way it is. I think that that's just something I think that I was lacking, I was looking for, and I was not finding in my Master Gardeners program. So then I think the third thing I didn't love about the Master Gardeners training program, which completely contradicts the first thing I said, which is I felt like there wasn't enough time. I felt like this commitment is a large commitment for a lot of people. I would have never been able to complete this Master Gardeners training program if I was still working in my 9-to-5 job, or if my kids were still young and they were still at home. It is something the amount of time that you have to contribute to this program really limits the amount of people that can join this program, just because the training takes so much time and there's no other way to do it than on a weekday in the middle of the day. So I feel really, really lucky that I was able to swing it this year and be able to fit it into my schedule. I will forever be appreciative of that. But I do wish that there was some way that people who, you know, have Monday through Friday 9-to-5 jobs can participate in this program as well, because a lot of the volunteer hours can happen on the weekends. So you technically could be a master gardener, even if you worked a Monday through Friday job. So so I would say those are the three things that I saw wrong with the Master Gardeners program, or the three things that I didn't love. But I cannot tell you guys, the things that I loved about the program so far outweigh the things that I didn't love. So I hope all of these videos encourage any of you who are thinking about doing the program to do the program. If you can swing it, it is so absolutely worth every minute that you spend in those training classes and the volunteer hours and all that kind of stuff. You guys, you will get so much from this program. I cannot even tell you how much more confident I feel as a gardener. I feel like any question I have or any problem or concern that I have in my garden, I have the skills now to be able to figure out how to deal with it. If I ever have anyone come up to me and ask me a question, I feel confident about saying, I don't know, let me see if I can find that answer for you, or let me see if I can research that answer for you. And that's just, that's just confidence. That's just confidence with gardening. And I think that that's what Master Gardeners does for you. So I really, truly want to encourage you guys to look into your own program if you have the time, of course, but I do think that it is such a wonderful opportunity and such a wonderful thing to do if you are obsessed with gardening like I am. All right, you guys, so let me know if you have any questions. I'll try and answer them the best I can in the comment section down below. My first volunteer hours project, I'm planning to do an introduction video. I'm planning to set up a Master Gardeners YouTube page for Solano and Yolo counties, which are the two counties that are combined in my program. So I will be working on that. So keep an eye out for the Yolo Solano County Master Gardeners YouTube page. I, of course, will let you guys know when I finally get that up and running. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Again, I'm going to encourage all of you to join your Master Gardeners program. It is totally, totally worth it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.